a nice tenon on there, so I'm going to put it on my chuck and get everything turned around. I was originally planning on having this end be the top part and be the wider area because it already was wider, but these deformities really went pretty deep, so I decided to let them be the bottom part. I'll get a little bit more body out of this part up here. Alright, we're remounted in the chuck. First thing I want to do is I want to just kind of figure out where the edge of this is. If I take off right there, I know I'm going to have a nice flat top. I'm going to lose that little bit right there. So I'm going to start by doing that, and then I'll get it really going. Got it cut down relatively flat enough to be good. And now what I'm going to do is just start working on kind of shaping the outside a little bit, and then I'll work on the inside. I am glad that I'm finding a lot of hard, solid wood in this. I was afraid it was going to be a lot softer, but it actually is doing pretty well. I'm going to try to take it down kind of a graceful, narrow piece if I can. But we'll see how that goes. I'm not always very good with that. But I'm going to start with the spindle gouge and then switch over pretty quickly to the skew. Alright, gave you a new angle. Hopefully we won't get too much vibration in these shots. Sometimes the vibration really travels up the wall and into the bracket. But you can see a lot better now. I love these stripes. I don't know what caused that, but I hope that they stay as I go a little deeper here. I'm going to have to smooth the base down a little bit, especially because it's got these pieces here. I'm going to have to be careful doing that so that I don't catch those and just rip the whole thing apart. Got nice features here with these little bug trails that then got filled in over time. A couple little cracks, but I think this is going to come out really nice. It's actually a lot more solid wood than I expected. This part here is really soft, the rest of it not so much. So I still get some chatter because of that, but I think this will work out really well. I'm going to do a little bit more with my spindle gouge, and then I'm going to switch off to the skew. Okay, got you on a different camera angle here. I'm trying a whole new bracket setup, so hopefully this will give you a good angle without much vibration. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to kind of take this off a little bit, get it a little smoother, and then I'm going to start hollowing out. I'm going to start with the bits and then work with the tool. This, by the way, is my bowl gouge that I recently made a whole new handle for. I should have that video up soon as well. And this is hopefully going to be the first successful project I've used it on, so I can show you how it's actually working out. I did it on this one too, but not so much. Alright, I went farther into that than I expected with the bowl gouge, but I am going to drill it out a little bit now. So the hollowing has gone really well. The problem I'm having is this crack up here is just getting bigger and bigger as I work. And that means that this thing's going to fail soon if I'm not careful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it with some glue. I'm going to take my time, really work the glue in. And then I'm going to clamp it all down with some parchment paper so that my clamps don't mess up the piece and nothing gets stuck to anything else. And give it some time to sit and harden, and then it should be solid for me to come back to. So we'll see what happens when I take the clamps off. Tightened up a lot. I'm going to tighten these screws a little bit more, and then give it about 24 hours to sit. It's been long enough. Let's see what we've got. Time to do it fast. There we go. All right. Okay, that crack looks tighter. I think we should be good. So time to continue hollowing. Got a little more light on the situation. That's for your benefit, not for mine. A lot of this, I really can't see it well enough while I'm working on it because I'd have to bend way over, and then I wouldn't have good control of my tool. So a lot of it's by feel and by watching other parts, as well as by listening. And if you listen to this, you can hear that it's kind of squeaking because some of this wood is coming loose again. So I'm probably going to have to glue it and tighten it again in a little bit. But I'm going to see if I can get a little more smoothing done in here. As you can see, it's hollowed out about to the depth that it needs to be, so it's a matter now of just taking down those ridges and getting it relatively smooth. that's as deep as I can safely go with my tools. There's a couple of little lines down in there you can kind of see. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get those out actually, just because they are deep enough in there. They're kind of at the reach of my tools, which is why they're there to begin with. There's a couple of other spots like up in here that I have a little bit of an extra groove that I'm going to have to work on. But this crack has decided to widen again, and I don't want to have a problem, so I'm going to glue it and clamp it just like I did before and come back to it later. Glue's had plenty of time to set, and I actually decided to leave the clamps on, put some tape over them so that they wouldn't be able to fly out at all while I'm turning, and hopefully that'll keep everything a little bit tighter together. This crack right here and this crack, they're my problems. You can see this one is actually starting to come all the way through. So I want to go really carefully and just try to take off a bit more. I want this a little bit thinner. It's just too meaty right now. So, get back to it. A little bit of a change of an angle for you. I've gotten the inside mostly done. It's going to need a little more sanding, but other than that, it's good. And I've had this glued up for a while, clamps on it and everything. I've really gotten a lot of glue into it, so I'm hoping that it's going to stay together pretty well. And I'm going to start working on trying to just finish off the outside here, get it down a little more true, and get rid of some of these rough spots. And hopefully that'll be it. I'm about one bad catch away from total catastrophic failure, so I think it's time to stop with the tools and start just doing some sanding. So I'm going to start with using a palm sander on the exterior here. I just want to try to work this down without getting any more marks into it. It's really soft, so it's going to get a lot of marks easily. So with using the palm sander, I've got a variety of different directions things are going, and I'll get less marks usually. So I'm going to start taking this down, and then I'll work the edge here, and I'll do the inside, but I'll probably do that off camera. Alright, I've got it reversed now so I can finish off the sanding. I like how the color came out with the mineral oil. I'm going to do a little bit more stain on this though than just mineral oil, obviously. This piece here is the same wood. This was done with a stain that calls itself Gunstock. And I like it, but it came out a little orange for me. So I'm going to go with a stain that calls itself Colonial Maple. It's again a brown, but not quite as red as this. So I'm just going to get some more sanding done and then put the stain on.